Well, the Chicago Skies have found their new head coach and former assistant coach from the Las Vegas Aces, Tyler Marsh. Now, the big question is Chennedy Carter. Is she coming or is she going? She takes to her Twitter X and posts a cryptic tweet. But before we get off into today's podcast, so well, guys, man, there's some uncertainty looming around restricted free agent Chennedy Carter of the Chicago Sky. Now, you know that Chennedy Carter is a very intricate part of the Chicago Sky's offense. Now with the new head coach and Tyler Marsh, and now that Jeff P has a year up under him as the general manager, he's evaluating in the direction this team is going to go. Now, you know, he parted ways with Teresa Weatherspoon. That was a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people, but they moved in a different direction and they brought on a championship coach, an assistant coach from the Las Vegas Aces, and a player developmental coach in Tyler Marsh. Now, the question is surrounding around restricted free agent Chennedy Carter. Now, you know, teams can offer Chennedy a contract, and Jeff P of the Chicago Sky has the right to match that to bring Chennedy Carter back. But right now, it's a lot of people saying that they being left in the dark because we don't have no word on what the Chicago Sky are going to do with the likes of Chennedy Carter. Now, you know, when they had the press conference for introducing Tyler Marsh to the Chicago Sky, there was nothing said about Chennedy Carter. They was talking about all the other players instead of Chennedy Carter, and that's the big question, and that's the ones that a lot of people want answers on, is what are they going to do with Chennedy Carter? Now, you know, Chennedy Carter was probably one of the best guards in the WNBA last year when she was in the lineup. Now, she was out of the lineup with Chicago for the first couple games, and then she was inserted into the starting lineup, and that's when you saw the impact of Chennedy Carter. She's probably one of the fastest guards, or the fastest guard in the WNBA. Now, you know, Chennedy Carter got a all-around game where she can get to the cup. She can pull the mid-range. She can lay it up with the best of them. And she's gritty on defense, too. She's a fiery competitor. Now, you know, she's playing ball overseas, and she's been working on extending her game beyond that three-point arc. And she's doing well over in China. And some of the footage that we've seen floating around social media of her shooting that three ball, she's shooting it at a high clip. Now, the question is the Chicago Sky going to bring Chennedy Carter back? Now, this was brought to my attention yesterday when I was doing a live show. One of my subscribers by the name of Mike, he kept posting something about Chennedy Carter was very important for us to take a look at. It was a cryptic tweet that Chennedy Carter put out there. And in that tweet, what she tweeted, she said some things that raised some eyebrows, and then later on, it was taken down. You see what I'm saying? So this is the tweet that Chennedy Carter put out there for the public to see, and then later removed it. So is she hinting to her possibly leaving the Chicago Sky? Because I think she's in a situation where probably nobody has reached out to her and her team and her representatives to let her know what's going on with the current team that she's on, the Chicago Sky. Now, there's other teams out there that can offer Chennedy Carter a contract because she is a restricted free agent, and Jeff P has a right to match any dollar figure out there to bring Chennedy Carter back. But it seems like Jeff P has been hopscotching over this whole Chennedy Carter situation, and Chicago Sky fans are upset and they're disappointed because they don't have no answers about Chennedy Carter. Now, you know the draft is coming up, and the Chicago Sky's got the number 3 pick and the number 10 pick. And everybody would like to see Chicago Sky draft a point guard to go alongside Chennedy Carter if Chennedy Carter is going to be on this roster. And the point guard that we're talking about is Olivia Miles, somebody that can play alongside Chennedy Carter, because you know what the Sky's issue was last year. Really didn't have a point guard to set the offense up, get them in their sets, entry passes, and things like that, and to spread the floor. The guard that we had was Dana Evans, and we all know what Dana Evans turned out to be. She never held herself accountable for her piss poor play. And I just think that Dana Evans and Teaspoon's relationship was not on the same page. And Chennedy Carter got all those minutes, and we saw what Chennedy Carter did when she was on the court. She played well alongside of Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso. So, but Jeff P said, you know, he might be packaging up the draft picks and get some guards and shooting in free agency. So that's why we're kind of uneased by what Jeff is doing, because you have a guard in Chennedy Carter that fits what you're trying to do with the Chicago Sky. Now, you know, Tyler Marsh, he's a player developmental coach. He can help Chennedy Carter out as well. And in this situation, Chennedy Carter probably feels the same way everybody else feels. It seems like the Chicago Sky really don't have no interest in bringing Chennedy Carter back to the Chicago Sky. And I think that's why she went to Twitter X and she posted what she posted. And I call them subliminals, the message with inside the message. So that makes me believe it's a potential that Chennedy Carter is gone from the Chicago Sky. Because in the tweet that she stated, she said wherever she ends up at. So when you say things like that, you're not locked and loaded on the team that you currently are on, because she's probably not getting the answers that everybody else wants. Am I going to be there, or are y'all going to let me walk? And that's what is so frustrating in this situation, because every time there's a press conference dealing with anything surrounding the new head coach or the general manager and Jeff P, there's no answers about Chennedy Carter. Her name doesn't even come up. And that's what's frustrating to a lot of Chicago Sky fans. And, you know, they just want answers. They want to know what is going on with one of the cornerstone pieces of the Chicago Sky. But in the introductory press conference, Tyler Marsh made it very clear that Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso are the cornerstones, and you build around them. So with that being said, you know, Chennedy Carter could be on the move. She could be on the move. It's a potential situation where she might not be back with the Chicago Sky, because the way Jeff P is talking about packaging up all the picks and building through free agents, see, that makes us wonder, like, what is going on with this front office? Why come they can't get it right? Everybody loves Chennedy Carter on the Chicago Sky. Everybody knew and everybody knows what she meant to the Chicago Sky last year when she was in the lineup. So guys, in this situation with the cryptic tweet that Chennedy Carter posted, do you think she's up out of Chicago? Post your comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. I see everybody in the comments section, #salute. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger, and we'll catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.